Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devidas from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Sudha Mataji, all glories Srila Prabhupada and Guru Mataji. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Rana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all the assembled devotees. This is Sushmita from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Susmita Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there anyone who would like to introduce in the call today?
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Induleka Karuna Devi Dasi from me.
Hare Krishna, Induleka Karuna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam class in Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam from 6.10.1 to 4. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji to give a brief introduction on Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today we have with us His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji. Prabhuji came to Krishna consciousness in 2004, and he earned an MBBS degree from Grant Medical College. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji joined the ashram in 2010, and he was initiated as a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2012. Prabhuji preaches in various medical and engineering colleges. He also conducts programs for doctors at Bhaktivedanta Hospital and in corporate environments. He is a teacher of Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav courses, He also conducts congregational programs in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji has done thorough studies of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So happy to have him on the call with us today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for that very brief introduction on Prabhuji. Looks like we are waiting for Prabhuji to join. If there are anyone who would like to introduce in the call, they can go ahead.
We can continue chanting then, Mataji.
Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Nam Nam, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Nam Nam, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram. Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Nam Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Bhagavati Kamal
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram.
Bhagavati Sudha Mataji. This is Kamadaki Dasik from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Kamadiki Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call and giving your association very regularly. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna.
Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept all of our humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Sorry for the
Thank
delay.
you so much for giving your.
Confused about the timings. I thought it was 5:50 here. So sorry. So just give me 1 minute. So this chapter is, we are on 6th chapter. Sorry, 6th canto.
10, Shloka 1 to 4. Chapter 10.
Chapter 12. 6, 12. Just a minute.
Yes.
6, 10, 1 to 4. Okay. Hare Krishna. So we'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauramani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6. We are on chapter 10, the battle between the demigods and Vritrasur. So today we'll be discussing chapter 1, text 1 to 4. I'll recite the first verse. Shri Badarayani Uvacha Indram Evam Samadishya Bhagwan Vishwabhavanah Pashyatam Animeshanam Tatraiva Antardhate Harihi. Translation. Sri Shukdev Goswami said, after instructing Indra in this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, the cause of cosmic manifestation, then and there disappearance from the presence of the onlooking demigods. Second verse. O King Parikshit, following the Lord's instructions, demigods approached Dadhichi, the son of Atharva. He was very liberal, and when they begged him to give them his body, he at once partially agreed. However, just to hear religious instructions from them, he smiled and jokingly spoke as follows. Text 3. O elevated demigods, at the time of death, the severe, unbearable pain takes away the consciousness of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. Don't you know about this pain? Text 4. In this material world, every living entity is very much addicted to his material body. Struggling to keep his body forever, everyone tries to protect it by all means, even at the sacrifice of all his possessions. Therefore, who would be prepared to deliver his body to anyone, even if it were demanded by Lord Vishnu? Purport. It is said, Atmanam sarvato rakshe tato dharmam tato dhanam. One must protect his body by all means. Then he may protect his religious principles and thereafter his possessions. This is the natural desire of all living entities. No one wants to give up his body unless it is forcibly taken away. Even though the demigods said that they are demanding the Dadichi's body for their benefit, in accordance with the order of Lord Vishnu, the Dadichi superficially refused to give them his body. So this is a very, very interesting section. And the extreme level of charity is being described here in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we know the story, wonderful story is going on in this Bhagavatam, in this canto, where all the devatas, they are really troubled by Vritrasur, and they go to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu tells them that, oh, you go to the Dadichi and ask him about for his bones, he'll give. And in response to the instructions given by Supreme Lord Hari, Indra and all the devatas, they have come to beg for the bones of the Dadichi. So the Dadichi Muni, as it is described here, that he was ready to give his bones, but still just to test and just to hear some instructions from Indra and all the devatas, he's speaking like this, as if he's not willing to give. So in this world, as this purport Prabhupada is describing, one must protect his body by all means. That is a natural desire of all the living entities, because it is a service to protect the body which is given by the Supreme Lord. But the ultimate purpose of the body is it should be used in service of the Lord. And that's what the Dadichi is doing here. The purpose of this human form of life is to serve Krishna. As Krishna describes in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, while he's speaking about the trees. Krishna goes with all his friends to forests of Vrindavan, and he's looking at the trees. And there he speaks a very beautiful verse. Etavad janma safalyam dehinam iha dehishu pranair arthair dhyavacha shreya acharanam sada. The purpose of the human form of life, janma safalyam, the janma will be safal or successful if with your prana you serve Krishna. Pranair, arthai, with your wealth you serve Krishna. If you cannot give your prana, at least give your wealth. Because wealth, many times people they keep wealth and protect wealth more than their even life. So for some people, wealth is really difficult to give. So either you give your life for Krishna, or if you cannot give your life for Krishna, at least give your wealth. Somebody may say, no, I cannot give wealth also. Dhiya, at least give your intelligence. I think about Krishna at least. At least try to find out how we can serve Krishna in some way, help others by your intelligence. Oh, I don't have intelligence also. Vacha, at least you can repeat whatever is being described. If somebody is speaking about Krishna, can you just tell that to others? Pranair arthair dhiya vacha shreya acharanam sada. This is the way one can practice shreya. Shreyas and prayas. Shreyas means the long-term goals. That is our development of Krishna consciousness, connection with Krishna. Shreya acharanam sada. So the Dadichi in this verse, he is ready to, in this section, he is ready to practice the highest Shreyas. We speak, we sing this bhajan, Manasa deho geho jo kechu moy arpilu tuapade Nanda Kishore. It is very easy to sing and very beautiful to hear this bhajan. Manasa deho geho jo kechu moy. Whatever I have, my body, my family, my mind, I have surrendered everything to you, my Lord. Arpilu tuapade. The Dadichi is practically, literally doing this. He is giving up his body for the sake of Supreme Lord Hari, because Lord has given instructions. He is ready to practically and literally give up his body. To ask for bones means you have to die. And to die, to give up body requires lots of realization that I am not this body and I am using this body in service of Krishna. So therefore, the standards of Bhagavatam, they are amazing standards. Many times in the Bhagavatam, such wonderful standards are spoken, extreme standards are spoken. And we may wonder that, well, I am not on that level. What to do? Is Bhagavatam meant for me, or is it meant for some people of the previous times? Because I have my anarthas, I have my conditionings, I am struggling with controlling my senses. And here Bhagavatam is telling me to surrender everything. So that is very, very difficult thing to understand. So, but we have to see that Bhagavatam and all the scriptures, they give extreme examples so that we can get the point. There is a verse which says, Nishkinchanasya Bhagavad Bhajanon Mukhasya Param Param Jigimashor Bhavasagarasya Sandarshanam Vishaina Mathayoshitamcha Ha Hanta Hanta Vishabhakshana Topya Sadhu. This verse says, Nishkinchanasya, if you are Bhagavad Bhajan Unmukha, you have given up all your material possessions and you want to practice Krishna consciousness, Param Param Jigimashor, you want to cross this ocean of material existence, two things are very, very deadly for you. Sandarshanam Vishainam, to see a person who is engrossed in sense gratification and to associate with opposite gender. And then Bhagavatam, and this verse tells a very graphic example. It is more deadly associating with sense gratifiers or opposite gender with the mood of sense gratification, right? It is more deadly than staying in a pit which is full of poison. So somebody may say, how come this is, this is possible? Do you want me to accept this? And, really, this is the case? But when such examples are given, we have to see how Bhagavatam strongly wants us to practice the highest principles in our life. To give up body is not so easy. And that too, for the sake of others, we may do some tapasya, we may take some inconveniences, we may give up some charity, we may do some charity, we may do some services, but to give up life for serving others, oh, that is an extreme example. But we have to understand that as a sadhaka, we have to come to, at least aspire to come to this standards of Krishna consciousness today or tomorrow. What are the various standards of Krishna consciousness? So we'll be discussing and focusing something about that. Because as a devotee in Kali Yuga, we cannot think of giving up the body for practicing pleasing Krishna. It is impossible. We cannot even think of that. We should not even do that. Because this body, it is given. Of course, nobody will give us instruction also to give us body. Give up this body. Oh, Lord has given instructions. Nobody will say that. What should be the aspiration of a devotee practicing Krishna consciousness, staying in this Kali Yuga in 21st century? In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami describes 9 qualities of a bhava bhakta or a devotee who is at the level of bhava. So when we hear this, we say, bhava bhakta, where is bhava bhakta? I am a sadhaka, I am struggling to control my senses. What is the question of bhava? But when Rupa Goswami gives this, ideal status of a person, of a devotee who is at the level of bhava. We should understand that these should be our aspirations. There, Rupa Goswami describes that a sadhaka, a bhava bhakta, he has two types of activities. Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrahi tad bhava lipsuna karya vrajaloka anusaratah. So bhava bhakta, or a person who is at the level of ecstasy, bhava prem, we know all the 9 stages of devotional service, from Shraddha to Prema. A person, even if he is at the level of bhava, he performs 2 types of activities. He has 2 types of existences: seva sadhak body and a siddha body. In the external world, he continues to practice the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness. But in the internal world, in his consciousness, he will continue to meditate on the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, in Brajab Leela, following in the footsteps of various devotees. And Rupa Goswami describes how to understand that a person is at the level of bhava. Because a person who is in ecstasy, he manifests so many ecstatic symptoms, ashta sattvic vikara. These symptoms are very easy to imitate. Shved, Kampa, Romanch, Ashru, Gadgad, Vaivarnya, Unmad, Vishad, Garva, Harsha, Dainya. Sweating, trembling, faltering of the voice, hair standing on end, crying tears, discoloration of the skin. Easy to imitate. How to understand that actually a person is at the level of bhav? We know the story. One time when Srila Prabhupada was there in one temple, and one person came and he started chanting and dancing, and he was falling, and he was looking like he's unconscious. So devotees, they thought, wow, this person is in ecstasy. They went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, one devotee has come. He is in ecstasy. He is fainting. Prabhupada said, go and kick him. So devotees were shocked. What? Prabhupada said, yes. Go and kick him. If he's in ecstasy, he will not even realize it. And if he's faking it, he will run away. And as soon as they went and they were in the mood of, kicking this person, he realized that they are coming to beat me. He ran away. So there Rupa Goswami gives the 9 symptoms of a bhava bhakta which cannot be imitated in the long run. And as practicing sadhaka, we have to try to come up to these standards of our practices. So very beautiful verse Rupa Goswami describes. Shantir avyartha kalatvam virakti mana shunyata asha bandha samutkantha namagane sadaruchi asaktis tadguna khyane pritis tada vasati sthale itiyadayo anubhavasyur jata bhavankure jane. So this is a very, very important verse. We'll see how many things we can discuss in today's class. So the first is Shanti. Shanti means perseverance. So first we'll see Avyartha Kalatvam. Shantir Avyartha Kalatvam. This is the most important thing which all of us should be careful of. Not wasting a single moment. Constantly engaging in devotional service 24 hours a day. Rupa Goswami tells the verse, Vagbhi stuvanto manasa smaranto tanva namante apyanisham na yuktaha bhakta shravannetra jala samagram ayu harereva samarpayanti. The Lord continuously praises, the devotee continuously praises the Lord with his words, remembers him with his mind, offers respects to the Lord with his body. In this way, he is engaged whole day. And we can see this in the life of Goswamis. We can see in the life of Prabhupada. Harishari Prabhu, he writes in his Transcendental Diary, when he became the servant or personal servant of Prabhupada, he could see Bhagavatam personified. Prabhupada was not wasting a single moment. Even while, speaking, even while brushing teeth, somebody would keep a microphone in front of Prabhupada and Prabhupada would speak. So Krishna is Supreme Personality. That's how he was not wasting a single moment. Can you imagine? If somebody keeps a microphone in front of us 24 hours a day, we'll think, Arey Baba, don't record everything. Not everything I speak is recordable. Because we have a different picture when we are with devotees. We have our different picture, right? We have different language. At least sometimes of the day, we have different language, we have different thoughts. And when we are with the devotees, we are in a completely different world. We speak a different language. And not everything we speak is Krishna conscious. Many times we speak about so many things of the world. But a devotee means he's avyartha kalatvam. In our current civilization, 21st century, the greatest damage is done in absorption, in contemplation of Krishna. The greatest damage is done by the social media. That is the greatest damage. Nobody has seen the level of distraction, before. Just 5-6 years back, it was not so much. After these smartphones and social media has come up, and it has really gone into the devotee community also. The amount of time we spend on social media, it is like very, very deadly thing and very, very serious thing, because we have embarked on a journey which is a very difficult journey. And if we don't utilize the time properly, then ayur harti vay pumsam udyanastan chayannaso, with every rising and setting of the sun, the life is decreasing. But that is not the case for a devotee. We may say that, but if we are not utilizing the time properly, we are also doing the same thing. We are wasting our time. Naiva vidvanshiyamanam jalam gadh jalecharaha yathayuranvaham shayam nara murha kutumbinaha. 10th canto, Shukdev Goswami describes the rainy season in Vrindavan and autumn season in Vrindavan. Beautiful chapters. Shukdev Goswami makes various analogies. One of the analogy he speaks is, in the rainy season, the small, ditches, they get filled with water and they get connected to river. From the river, some water comes and a pond is made. And when the rainy season stops, autumn comes, then summer comes. Then the water starts drying up. In the rainy season, what happens? From the main river, the fishes, they come and they start staying in the small pond, small ditch. They're thinking, wow, we have got a different home. It is so very good here. They don't even realize. With every day, the water is decreasing. Jalam gadh jale charaha. And one day, the water is completely evaporated and they are dead. Similarly, a person who doesn't realize the value of his life, doesn't realize how every moment is precious, wastes his time in all the other things, the life will be gone. We have to understand that those who are not practicing Krishna consciousness, for them, they don't have to chant their rounds. They don't, that means 2 hours they have, right? Solamala, 16 rounds, 2 hours. Then they don't have to attend the morning program. Bhagavatam every day must be attending. That means 1 more hour, 1.5 hours is gone. And in 3.5 hours. And then you have to We also read Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita on our own personally, that at least half an hour, 4 hours is gone. Then sometimes we attend satsang physically also. That means 2-3 hours more gone. So basically, a person who is non-devotee, he has lots of time to spend in all the other things. Of course, whatever time he's spending, he's just wasting his life. But if a devotee thinks, well, all these other people, they're enjoying life, maybe I should do that also. Can you imagine? We have to do our 4 hours of devotional practice, and at the same time, if we are spending time on all the other things, then it will not go in the long run. Then we'll be disturbed and frustrated that what is happening? And the first thing which mind says is reduce the practice of Krishna consciousness. So therefore, we have to understand that the more we are distracted, the more we'll become unfortunate. We'll not realize the value of what we have received. To realize our fortune, we have to first understand that this human form is so very rare. Labdva sudurlabhamidam bahu sambhavante manusyam arthadam anityam apiha dhiraha turnam yatet natupated anumrityu yavan nishreyasaya vishaya khalu sarvatasyat. 11th canto describes Labdhva, you have achieved. Labdhva sudurlabha, not just rare, extremely rare. Sudurlabha. Labdhva sudurlabham idam, this human body. Bahu sambhavante, after many, many lives we have received it. Manushyam, it can give artha, highest benefit it can give. But if we don't take advantage of it, and if we run after sense gratification, turnam yatet natupate danumrityu yavan. If it falls down, we should not fall down. Because Vishaya Sarvata Khalusyat, sense gratification is available in all the bodies, all the species of life. Human form, very rare. Getting human form is so rare. In that, practicing spirituality is still more rare. Many times people use spirituality as lemon on the food, just to enhance the flavor of sense gratification. They practice some spirituality also, not to please God. Still more rare is to know that Krishna is God. How many people know Krishna is God? Shivji is God, Durga is God, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Ganapati, Hanuman, all these are God. To understand Krishna is God, very rare. Because even if somebody reads the Vedas, it is so very difficult to understand who is God. Because the Vedic literatures are written in such a way that to come to the conclusion is very difficult. Amnayabhyasanam ruditam veda phalanyanvaham. This verse says, the Vedas, they are like a very big forest, Amazon forest. And if somebody is lost in this forest and is shouting, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Nobody will come to help. Reading the Vedas and trying to come to the conclusion, it is like crying in the Aranya Ruditam. So we have received this wonderful opportunity to understand that Krishna is God. On top of that, we have understood that there is a process to connect to God. And that is a parampara. To get connected to a bona fide parampara is still more rare. In that, getting connected to a parampara which is giving us love of God, still more rare. And the rarest of the all things is the time in which we have taken birth, where Krishna has performed his pastimes just 5,000 years back. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come just 526 years back. So very rare. And if we don't understand and use this opportunity, then we'll lose it. And the worst thing will be if we don't even realize that we have lost something. It is said that one who doesn't get Krishna consciousness, is unfortunate. One who gets Krishna consciousness, he's most fortunate. One who gets and leaves it, he is most unfortunate. So we have achieved this wonderful chance to practice Krishna consciousness, achieve the highest benefit of life, that is to love Krishna. It was not available in the past. Not in Satyuga, not in Treta, not in Dwapara. Love of God was so very rare. Anarpita charim chirat karunaya avatirna kalau samarpayitum unnat ujjwal rasam svabhakti shriyam. That Supreme Lord is thinking that, well, I have not given this love of God so far. For a long time, I have not given it. Anarpit, chorpit nahi kiya abhi tak. Charim chirat. That same love of God, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming and giving us. So how much we should be careful, not wasting moment. Of course, we have to take care of our daily responsibilities. We have to do our job. We have to take care of the business, our relatives, whatever is needed. But the point is, whenever we have time, what do we do with that time? Usme kya kar rahe hain hum log, That is very important. This is the first quality. Avyartha kalatvam. Second is shanti. Shanti means perseverance. Perseverance means Jiva Goswami and Bhanu Maharaj translates it as to remain tolerant and patient even amidst great disturbance. Tamopayatam pratiyantu vipra Ganga cha devi dhritachitamishe Dvijopasrishtam kuhakastakshakova dashattulam gayata vishnu gatha. What can be the greater disaster than being cursed to die? Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days. And what is he saying? Whatever that son of the sage has created, let it come and bite me. I don't care. O sages, please continue glorifying Krishna. Dashatvalam gayat Vishnu gatha. That is how a devotee should always see the silver lining in darkest of the situations. You should be tolerant. Tolerate. That is the first instruction Krishna gives, right? Tam stitikshasva bharata. Just tolerate, O Arjuna. Prabhupada writes a beautiful line in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 12th chapter, 51st verse purport. In that he says, a devotee should always keep his mind in the sanguine state. What is sanguine state? Sanguine state means a state of positivity. A devotee should always think and understand that whatever is happening in my life, I have to just tolerate it because Krishna has a plan for me. Nothing happens in the life of a devotee without Krishna's will. Especially in the life of a devotee. Directly Krishna takes care. He doesn't do it through his representatives. He doesn't delegate the protection of his devotees to Maya Devi, Durga Devi, to any of his subordinates. He does it himself. You read Bhagavad Gita, so many verses Krishna is saying, I personally do it. Tesham aham samudharata. I personally protect and deliver my devotee. I personally provide. I personally preserve. Vahami aham. Tesham aham. So that's how, devotee, he is really tolerant. And, there are various levels. When problem comes in life of a person, some people blame God. Why God is doing to me? Some people, they realize, no, it is not God. It is my own karma. I have to just tolerate it. Higher level is a devotee is grateful. He is grateful for whatever is happening in his life or her life, because he realizes that I was about to suffer much more. Krishna has given me so less. It is not just a question of thinking. It is there. It is a fact. Krishna personally purifies and minimizes the devotee's sinful reactions. Tattenukampam susamikshmano bhunjanu evatmakritam vipakam ridvagvapurбhir vidhan namaste jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhak. Brahmaji is offering prayers. Oh my Lord, it is your extreme mercy. Anukampa. What is that mercy? Bhunjanu evatmakritam. If somebody practices devotional service unto you, the sinful reactions which are in the seed form, they get roasted. And if you roast seeds and sow it, will it grow? Will it sprout? No. Bhunjano evatmakritam. मैंने जो भी पाप किए हैं, the seeds of all those sins, you have roasted it. So therefore, tadvag vapurbhir vidhan namaste. Therefore, I am offering my obeisances. So that is a devotee, He's always have this understanding. Krishna is giving me whatever I can tolerate. So somebody may think it is too much. Whatever I'm going through is really difficult for me to tolerate. But you have to understand it. We were about to suffer much more, For some, it may be a very difficult statement, but factually it is a fact. So that is a devotee. He is always grateful to Krishna. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he tells, a devotee, the definition of devotional service, if we have to explain Krishna consciousness in few words, said, Krishna consciousness means to be grateful. Gratitude is not a part of bhakti. To be grateful is bhakti. That is the mood every devotee should cultivate. We have to cultivate this mood of being grateful for whatever small things or whatever big things we have received in our life. One of the devotees, he was saying that actually we should write a gratitude journal. For every small thing, we get every day, next day morning, we should at least write or at least thank Krishna. Even if you get to, eat a good feast, thank Krishna. That is the smallest thing. Whatever we get in our Krishna consciousness, in our life, we should learn to thank Krishna. Because if we begin our day with a gratitude thought, that creates such a positivity, that creates such a hope that no, Krishna has given me so much. Sometimes we become dissatisfied not when we see what we don't have, but when we don't see what we have. Very interesting statement. Dissatisfaction comes not when we see what we don't have. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have this. That doesn't create much dissatisfaction. What creates dissatisfaction? When we don't see what we have. In the path of bhakti, we have received so much. Everybody can write so many things which we have received in our path of bhakti, which we don't even deserve. We have to be grateful. We have to be always thinking what all things. Yuyam niloke batabhuri bhaga lokam punana munayo bhiyanti yesham grihana vasatiti sakshat gudham param brahma manushya lingam. Because however great one may be, however advanced devotee one may be, there will be situations and then when we will be really disturbed and depressed in our life because of our anarthas, because of our wrong things which are happening in our life. I didn't get this. Even Yudhishthir Maharaj was thinking like this, It comes in the 7th canto when Narad Muni tells the story of Prahlad. And wow, for Prahlad, for one devotee, Lord has appeared, Narsimdev. So after hearing Satyam Vidhatum Nijabhritya Bhashitam Vyaptim cha Bhuteshu Akhileshu Chatmani Adrishyatat Atyadbhuta Rupam Udvahan Stambhe Sabhayam Namrigam Namanusham, just to prove the words of his devotee Narada, Prahlad. What did Prahlad say? My Lord is there in this pillar. एक स्टेटमेंट के लिए भगवान प्रकट हो गए ना, Lord appeared, right? Yudhishthir Maharaj is happy to hear the glories of Prahlad, but he is thinking, well, for one devotee, one avatar. What about me? Nobody came for me. So Narad Muni is reminding Yudhishthir of his fortune. We have to always remind, we have to be reminded or we have to remind ourselves. Yuyam niloke batabhuri bhaga. There is nobody more fortunate than you, O Yudhishthir, in this entire human civilization. Naraloke. What is the fortune? The great sages and sadhus and yogis, lokam punana munayo bhiyanti, they are worshipping, they are doing tapasya for millions of lifetimes. And they are not able to see that Supreme Lord. Just see your fortune. Yesham grihana vasatiti sakshat. Are in your home, sakshat gudham param brahma is staying in the form of a human being. What is greater fortune than this? And on top of that, he's becoming your chariot driver, he's becoming your messenger, he's becoming your protector, and he's behaving as if he's your friend. Sarathya, Parashada, Sevana, Sakhya, Dautya, Veera, Sananugamana, Stavana, Pranaman. What fortune you have. So therefore, as devotees, we have to tolerate our anarthas, we have to tolerate our sinful reactions, all the while being grateful. To be grateful is bhakti for whatever small things we get in our life and whatever big things we have got in our life. To be grateful for it, that is very important. Shantihi, tolerate the problems, tolerate the miseries, be grateful. Third quality of a devotee, Shantir avyartha kalatvam virakti. Virakti means detachment, complete indifference to sense gratification. What is the difference between virakti and vairagya? Vairagya means when I say no to sense gratification grudgingly. Well, I have heard so much. So, theek hai, I will not do sense gratification. I know I want to do, I am just, push, my senses are pushing me, but okay, I've heard so much, I will control myself. That is vairagya. Virakti, the desire itself is not there. Just like Yamunacharya, what he prays, after I have come to the process of Krishna consciousness and I have started relishing the newer and newer mellows of bhakti, whenever I remember the time when I was associating with my wives. And he was a great king, enjoying sense gratification. He says, whenever I remember that thought, my lips curl in distaste, and I spit at that thought. Bhavati mukha vikara shushtu nishtivanam cha yadvadi mama cheta krishna padara vinde nava nava rasadham nyudyatam rantum asit aho batanari sangame smaryamane. Bhavati mukha vikara shushtu nishtivanam cha. I spit at that thought. That is virakti. Very difficult, very tall order, right, for us. Or at least we should try to come up to the level of vairagya. Because even if we have desires, and Krishna is aware of it, and it is not that Krishna ko to malum hi nahi hai, he is enjoying life in Vrindavan with his cowherd friends and gopis and Nand Maharaj, Yashoda, and I am here suffering in this material world. Is he aware of my problems? Malum hai kya itna tapasya ho raha idhar? Krishna is aware. Krishna knows everything. Whatever is happening in a life of a sadhaka, Krishna knows. Everything he knows. Krishna is telling a beautiful verse to Uddhav, very, very hope-giving verse. In the 11th canto it comes. Jata shraddho mat kathasu nirvinnaha sarva karmasu Veda dukkhatmakan kaman parityagopyanishvaraha. He says, my devotee, his faith has risen in my pastimes. Shraddha has taken birth, Jat. He has understood that sense gratification leads to misery. Theoretically samajh gaya hai. Still, parityago api anishvaraha. He is not able to give it up. He's not able to give it up. Senses are pushing him. He knows sense gratification is dangerous, but still he can't help. The story of life of many of the devotees. I know this is wrong, but still, my senses are pushing me. What the devotee does? Tato bhajeta mam prita shraddhalu dridha nishchayah jushamanasya tan kaman dukkho darkam shagarhayan. Still he practices with faith. Tato bhajet. He never gives up. He may fall down n number of times, but still he gets up and walks again, because in the boxing ring, unless a person gets up, he's not declared defeated. Refuses to get up. If he gets up, he's not defeated. We may fall down many times, but if we get up again and walk, we are not defeated. Tato bhajet. Mam prita, with love, with faith, with determination, that Krishna consciousness works. We should have that faith. The more we dedicate ourselves to the process of chanting, sincerely, attentively, praying to Krishna, praying to Srila Prabhupada, praying to our Acharya Vrind, Guru Dev, to that extent Krishna will reciprocate. Tato bhajet mam pritaha shraddhalu dridha nishchayaha, all the while repenting for the sinful activities. And we may do some mistakes, we may do something wrong, we should repent for it. Paschatap. It is a very, very important activity of a devotee to be repentant, to be very, very, we should feel sorry, we should feel guilty. But that guilt, another thing, very important thing we have to understand. Sometimes we go into so much of the guilt consciousness that we go away from bhakti also. I am so sinful, I am so fallen. Maybe I am not qualified to practice bhakti. That is another trap of Maya. However fallen we may be, we should continue to walk again. Because Krishna knows he is just a struggling sadhaka. Ye to hota hi rahega. This will happen in the life of a sadhaka. We should not take it so seriously. We should, many times what happens, we take our anarthas very seriously. Something comes in our mind and we start wondering, how can this thought come in my mind? As if we are a pure devotee, Any nonsense thing can come in the mind. We should not take our mind and our anarthas so seriously. We should take Krishna seriously. We should take the instructions of Guru seriously. We should take the beautiful form of the Lord seriously. Yasyananam makara kundala charu karna bhrajat kabola subhagassa vilas hasam nityotsavam nata tripo drishabhi pibantyo naryo narascha mudita kupita nimescha. The beautiful form of Krishna is described here. Makara kundal, he is wearing a shark-shaped earrings. Yasyananam makara kundal, beautiful ears, beautiful earrings. He has beautiful cheek, and on his forehead there are locks of hair falling. Beautiful smile on his face. This form of the Lord is eternal festival. Nitya Utsava. Natra Tripur, we will never be satisfied seeing this beautiful form of Krishna. The more we come in touch with name, form, pastimes of the Lord, the more we will develop Vairagya and Virakti. So at least Vairagya means we have to be conscious. I have this anartha and I have to be really careful. I don't want to again go back to my previous lifestyle. I want to give my best. At the same time, we should not be so much concerned, will I become successful? Will I go back home, back to God in this life? Will I get love of God? That is not our business. We should learn to live in the present. Give your best. And whatever Krishna desires, he will give. If Krishna desires that, well, this devotee needs to come back in this life itself. Okay, great. And if Krishna thinks, no, I think he should stay few more lives, lots of service is there for this devotee, you should be ready for it. So as a devotee, we should be just concerned about our practices of sadhana bhakti, because that will only give us vairagya and virakti and nothing else. Shantir, avyartha kalatvam, virakti. Fourth qualities, and we'll stop with this. Mana shunyata, pridelessness. Bhanu Maharaj translates, what is pridelessness? One feels humble even though he is extremely elevated. Although a devotee has such wonderful qualities, he thinks, I am no one. Everything I have. And what is the foundation of this thinking? It is not just an artificial way of showing humility. No, he actually feels I am no one because nothing belongs to mine. Nothing belongs to me. Nothing is mine. Everything is coming from Krishna. Na? Everything is given by Krishna. Why I should be proud? And today morning I was hearing a class of Srila Prabhupada when we were doing DT services. Prabhupada said, what is, people, they renounce this world. What is there for you to renounce? Nothing belongs to you. Everything belongs to Krishna. Whatever skills, whatever wealth, strength, power, whatever we have, everything belongs to Krishna. That is the foundation of pridelessness. Amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, shantir, arjavam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. What is the difference between amanitvam and adambhitvam? Amanitvam means not to be proud when there is a reason to be proud. Oh, he is such a wonderful devotee, such a wonderful organizer. He's such a wonderful singer, speaker, wonderful cook. Reason to be proud, still you are not proud. Amanitvam. What is adambhitvam? One is, one should not be proud when there is no reason to be proud. Some people, they don't have any quality, but still they are proud. Still they behave as if they are big persons. Krishna doesn't like a person who is proud. In fact, nobody likes a proud person. A devotee should be very, very careful, because this is such a deadly thing, to be proud. Unconsciously it comes in. Although we don't want to be proud, but still our anarthas, they push us to be proud. And the more we hear the lives of great devotees, we see in the life of Madhavendra Puri, we see in the life of Kaviraj Goswami, how humble they were, how they were expressing their humility. When Madhavendra Puri, Lord stole sweet rice for Madhavendra Puri. Can you imagine? Lord stealing for someone. What can be the greater, reason to be proud? Oh, Madhavendra Puri, Toma lagi Gopinath, Khir Koira Churi. That pujari is shouting out loud in the public. Where are you? Who is this Madhavendra Puri? Come, take this. Shiralaya karatumi, sukhera bhakshane, tomasama bhagyavan nahi tribhuvane. Oh, Madhavendra Puri, come. Where are you? Who are you? Please come. Take this sweet rice. And there is no one more fortunate than you. And what Madhavendra Puri does, he realizes, he takes that kheer, he honors it, he's very happy, but then he thinks, now everybody will come to know that for me, Lord has stolen sweet rice. Pratisthara bhay puri gela palaya, Krishna preme pratishtha chale sange gadaya. He ran away from that place out of fear of pratishtha. Can you imagine? Fear of fame. People become fearful when they don't get fame. Madhavendra Puri became fearful because he was thinking, I should not be famous. He ran away from that place. Kaviraj Goswami was writing a PhD literature. What is he saying? Ami likhi eham mithya kari anuman, amare sharir ka ashtaputali saman. I am just a puppet. Who am I? Murkha, he says, Andha badhira ami, I am blind, I am deaf. Hasta hale mano buddhi nahi morasthir. My hands are trembling as I am writing. Still I am writing. This is all mercy of the Lord. So that's how a devotee should be humble. Okay, so I'll stop here. So, anybody has any questions?
Thank you. Thank you. Right. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very beautiful class. It was very nice hearing to the point of being grateful. We are always counting of other things that we don't have, but we are not counting on what we have. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for stressing those points. Hare Krishna.
Are there any questions, or can we stop here?
Checking, Prabhuji. In the chat, there are no questions. If devotees have. Yeah, Parima Mataji, you can ask your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for this wonderful class. It's very enlightening, Prabhuji. I have this one question, that when you said that, whenever a devotee is in distress and he basically is thinking that this is like he's grateful to the Lord. But Prabhuji, when that distress or that calamity is very, very big, and when it is really unbearable, at least for people like me, if it's very, very unbearable, then I can think that, oh, this is my karma. But how to be grateful in such a situation? Suppose if some near one dies, or it's like a great loss, how can you feel grateful? You can take it as your karma, but to feel grateful is something very exalted, Prabhuji. Can you enlighten us?
Yes, of course, it is a very, very high level of consciousness which a devotee has, to be grateful, to always think that, okay, Krishna must have a plan. If somebody leaves, Krishna must have a plan for this person. Yeah. There is a story. There was one disciple of Prabhupada. He was a Muslim person. He became attracted to Krishna consciousness, and he was initiated also. His name was Ram Lakshman Prabhu. And everyone was opposing him. His family, his community. He was Muslim background. He was not able to practice regularly, happily, really struggling. And after 1 year of his diksha, his initiation, he got a severe disease and it left his body. Everybody was surprised, confused, bewildered. What has happened? And this person dedicated his life for Krishna and now he is dead. They wrote to Prabhupada. Prabhupada wrote 2 letters. One letter he wrote to devotees. He said, we should always understand that Krishna sees the bigger picture. And for this devotee, Krishna, he must be thinking that in this lifetime, he will not be able to practice, Krishna consciousness peacefully. So therefore, he has just shifted that devotee, moved that devotee from this position, this situation to another situation where when he'll open his eyes, he'll see somebody with Kanthimala and Tilak as his father. That's how Krishna knows the overall picture. He sees the bigger picture. So devotees were pacified. And then he wrote another letter to the wife of this devotee. He was married, he had children. Muslim person, Muslim girl. So he wrote a letter to his wife. And he said, Prabhupada said, oh, we are very sorry. We are with you in this really difficult phase of life. We are always there to help you in whatever situation, whatever we can do, please let us know. This lady, she had an option. Either to continue staying there with her family or to move to Hare Krishna temple. This one letter of Prabhupada gave her such hope. She chose the second one. Along with her children, she came to temple, started staying with devotees, started chanting 16 rounds. Children also started practicing. So that's how when something wrong happens in our life, it is very difficult, yes, easier said than done. But we have to always remind ourselves that Krishna must have a plan in this situation. So therefore, I can just wait for the time to pass by, just praying to Krishna to give us strength to go through that situation. And some things we'll never be able to understand. Because what will happen to this person in the next life, nobody knows. But we hear the stories of Bhagavatam and they're all true. They're not imaginary stories, right? They're all true stories. So therefore, these stories of Bhagavatam, the stories of devotees, they should give us really hope and they should make our faith strong. That however difficult situations may come, Krishna will give us the strength. If we cannot be grateful, at least we should pray for the strength to tolerate these problems in a positive mindset, with a positive mindset. And for sure, just like Kunti Maharani is praying the next level of prayers, right? She's saying, I want more. We cannot even, pray like that. Whenever I speak that verse, Vipada, Santuta, Sashwat, I always tell Krishna, this is Kunti Maharani's prayers, not mine. So we cannot even, think of asking for more problems, right? We are already so much, beaten down by our current anarthas, current sufferings, current reactions. At least we can pray to Krishna to give us the strength to go through these in right consciousness. And, then Krishna will surely award us the higher level of consciousness also. But we should never ever try to imitate pure devotees. If we are not on that level, we should work on our level. If we cannot be grateful, we should pray to Krishna to give us the strength to tolerate. We cannot, lie to Krishna, right? We cannot cheat Krishna. Krishna knows our heart. He is there as Paramatma in everyone's heart. We have to be honest to Krishna. Krishna, I am not on that level. I can pray for tolerance. I can pray for that. Please give me strength to tolerate it and let it go away. My faith should not get disturbed. My faith should increase. So we should offer prayers according to our level, not artificial prayers. We should know the ideal standards, but we should offer prayers according to our level. Okay?
Yes,
Hare.
Prabhuji. Yes. Wonderful explanation, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Balaram Prasad Prabhu, you can
Yes,
ask your
Mataji, thank you
question.
so much. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
One reflection, Prabhu. Sometimes theoretically we hear, or maybe it's theoretically or whatever, we normally hear many things. But when we come to practical situations, it is tough to handle, the one which you just said. But that comes by only experience. When you experience only, we'll come to know what the situation, but how Krishna has his hand for us. Because I have experienced in my life the same thing in a critical situations, in the family situations. It's not that easy to say, but it's an experience. So that's what I was thinking about, because I lost my spouse 5 years ago. She had a cancer, and how much I had gone through for 4-5 years along with her. It was a long journey. Then now if I think, how did I manage? It's mind-boggling. I don't think I can manage right now. But at that situation, I have no idea how I managed so many things. Children, and then her and me, and hospitals. And once if I go to an emergency today, oh my God, how long it takes to get out. But how many emergencies I have gone in that situation, God only knows. I cannot handle that. Even if I really think now, it is not easy to understand. So it comes by experience. And we may not even think. At one point of time, I was thinking, why am I doing all this? How much I can do all this? Then once I realized, oh, she's also a devotee. I'm trying to serve the devotee. That realization came, and then it was completely jubilant. That maybe, Krishna is making something for her in from family. Who knows? It's not in our hands, but that's how it goes. That's one of my reflections. So the another thing I had, Prabhu, since you spoke about the humility, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, if I look at their prayers and songs, it's really, they're up to their level, as you said, and they're giving this kind of prayers, and they're telling that I'm nothing, I'm nothing. So how do we understand, even though we are devotees for some years or many years, doesn't matter, at least we are trying to understand something. So how do I understand that even though we know Krishna, this is so and so, that means we don't have a proper understanding of Krishna, because we are aware, but we are not humble. But the devotees, like the great devotees like Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, their understanding of Krishna is completely different. Or how do we digest this, Prabhu? That means I have no understanding of Krishna at all. What does that mean? So, because I'm not humble in that way.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing such a wonderful story of your life. Yeah, it was really heart-touching thing and inspiring how Krishna gives strength. Yes, we all have experienced a little bit of not you have whatever you have experienced is really a very serious thing, but for sure everybody must have experienced a little bit or more of it. And all of us have this, realization that Krishna gives strength. After we come out of it, yeah, yes. So this question of how great devotees, they say, oh, I am lower than worm in the stool. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Vishay Durjana Sadaka Mirata Kichunai Moraguna, I have no qualities. We have to understand that what is the difference between humility and inferiority complex. Many times when we say that, oh, I have no qualities, many times it is coming from a false ego which is frustrated. I cannot do it on my own. I is in prominence. Humility means false ego rejected. Inferiority complex means false ego frustrated. All these great devotees, when they say that we are fallen, we have no good qualities, their reference point is Krishna. Krishna is so great. In front of him, where am I? I am nothing. They're not comparing themselves with, this world. They are thinking, I have no qualities because Krishna is so great and everything I have is coming from Krishna, right? So therefore, they are naturally humble. They don't get depressed. A person who is humble, he never gets depressed thinking that I cannot do much. I am so foolish. I am so small. He is happy because Krishna is great. Not because I am small, because Krishna is great. So that is a devotee. So therefore, we should never feel ourselves so fallen and inferior that, oh, I am good for nothing. I think I cannot practice Krishna consciousness. I have no love for Krishna. I have not advanced in Krishna consciousness. And it is good thing to be humble, but sometimes we should also understand that, yes, I have advanced a little bit, right? All of us can introspect our life from where we started and where we have come from, where we have come to. The types of thoughts which we had previously and thoughts which we have now, huge difference, right? So we have to be aware that no, actually I am advancing. It is required sometimes to really understand that, okay, I am moving ahead. Everyone needs some encouragement, some motivation, but that motivation and encouragement should be based on the principle that Krishna is so merciful. Krishna is so great that a fallen person like me is also able to practice Krishna consciousness. He's so great. We are happy because we have Krishna. We are happy because Krishna helps his devotees. Otherwise, who am I? So we should never feel that I have not advanced. I have no love for Krishna. Just like Harishori Prabhu, he tells, Ashrut Kirti Prabhu, he tells this story. One time, he was with Prabhupada on the airport, in the airplane, and they landed, and all the devotees were there on the airport. They were dancing and singing and chanting Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. And Shruta Kirti Prabhu was thinking, these devotees have so much love for Prabhupada. I don't have love for Prabhupada. So after Prabhupada, they reached temple and Prabhupada was in his room. So Shruta Kirti Prabhu said, Prabhupada, these devotees, when we came out of plane, they were dancing, singing, chanting your names. They have so much love for you. And I don't have such love for you, Prabhupada, it seems. Prabhupada didn't say anything. He was thinking, Prabhupada will say something to pacify him. Prabhupada didn't speak a single word. And this was afternoon. So then he continued with his services. Night time came. He was massaging Prabhupada. And, the last thing, he gave milk to Prabhupada and he was about to leave. That time Prabhupada told him, oh, you are telling something in the afternoon? Prabhupada said, yes. So Shruta Kirti Prabhu said, yes, Prabhupada. I was telling that these devotees, they have so much love for you. I don't have any love for you. Prabhupada said, he asked him, Do you want to serve me? He said, yes, Prabhupada, I like to serve you. Prabhupada said, that is love. So love doesn't mean we'll have tears of ecstasy. Love doesn't mean our hairs will stand on end. All those ecstatic symptoms will appear. If we have attachment to any of the limb of Krishna consciousness, that means we have love for Krishna. That means we are advancing. And we should continue ahead with that. And then our humility will be based on right platform. Not that I am fallen, but focus is Krishna is great. Focus is not on my fallen condition. Focus is on Krishna's greatness.
Yeah, Prabhu, just thank you for that answer.
Sorry for these talks, just to clarify, I am also speaking all this so that I can remind myself, I am not on that level, but just, repeating whatever I have heard, whatever little bit I am trying. So that's what seeking blessing so that I can also follow. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So now I request Prahlad Prabhuji, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much, Mataji. And then we pranam to all the devotees and Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in response to what Baldev Prabhu said, my story is just opposite. Okay, I started Krishna consciousness back in 1984, and before that, I suffered 7.5 years of Sani Panoti, they call it. I didn't know that it was Sani Panoti, but I suffered a great. I failed my exams in final MBBS, and I never failed in an exam before then. I was devastated. Somehow, later on, I came in touch with Prabhupada, one article, right? And that's where my journey started. And till today, 70 years, I'm old, 70 years now, I have progressively felt pleasure and pleasure. All right. And they say, Panuti will repeat after 30 years. I have never suffered that. All right. And every juncture of my life, Lord Krishna has blessed me. All right. Beyond my own expectation, materially and spiritually. Today, I wake up every morning 3:30. I attend this class, and I chant around. I even preach. I do a lot of book distribution, and progressively, Lord Krishna. Sometimes I wonder that I'm doing right, or is Lord Krishna not giving me mercy that He is giving me so much material facilities? This, that. This kind of experience I'm experiencing, and sometimes I fear that may I lose Lord Krishna's mercy? Will I lose Krishna consciousness? Like that kind of thing. So, different situations we get from Lord Krishna. And I feel that, I do not want to lose, Lord Krishna's mercy or his seva, Srila Prabhupada's seva. Despite all these material facilities, Lord Krishna is showering on me, So, health-wise, wealth-wise, and, all other, he has kept me very happy all throughout from that time I finished, my studies and all that. So this is a little reflection I have. So much, grateful to my mother who also taught me Krishna consciousness and like that. And of course, devotees. And throughout all these years, I've been in touch with devotees, and progressively, I'm feeling higher stages and the higher places in my life. As I say today, I feel so good that I'm associating with you, such erudite scholars. And, like so little bit of my reflection, Prabhuji, and then what pranam to Baldev Prabhuji also. Haribol Prabhuji. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing your wonderful realizations. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I request now Ananga Kishori Mataji, you can ask your question.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. My question is that you spoke about Virakti and Vairagya is like forcefully renouncing, although the taste for pleasure objects remain, but you just give up periodically understanding the scriptures. So how do we get that real spontaneous attraction? Uh, I mean, what are the practical steps to go from Vairagya to Virakti? Because I don't think I'm as fortunate as Yamunacharya, who's just, completely on a transcendental platform.
वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योग प्रयोजिता जनयति आशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम चयद अहेतुकम. Bhagavatam describes the more we practice Krishna consciousness by chanting, by reading, by hearing, two things they come automatically: Gyan and Vairagya. Knowledge and detachment will come automatically. Bhakti paresha anubhavo virakti anyatra chaisha trika eka kalaha prapadyamanasya yathashnatasyu tushti pushti kshutapayo nughasam. This is another very beautiful verse. When we eat prasad, three things happen: tushti, satisfaction; pushti, nourishment; shutapayo anughasam, our hunger decreases with every morsel of food. Similarly, when we practice Krishna consciousness by reading, by chanting, associating with devotees, sincerely doing these things is very important. If we are not putting our heart in those activities, that means if we are not present in those activities, then we'll not get the desired result. What is the desired result? If we are not focused, bahujanma kare yadi shravana kirtan tabuta na paye Krishna pade premadhan. If we are not focused and attentive on the path of Krishna consciousness, even if we try for millions of lifetimes, we will not get love of God. So we have to do it attentively, seriously, and the result will be what? Three things. Our devotional sentiments will increase. We'll experience Krishna, bhakti, para isha anubhava, experience Krishna, and virakti, detachment. It will come automatically. Apne aap ho jayega, we don't have to do any extra endeavor. Oh, now I have to give up my family or what? I have to decrease my responsibilities or what? How should I do it? No external endeavor. Automatically, we will develop a distaste for the things and people of the world, and we will develop attraction for the various limbs of Krishna consciousness. What you have to do is just be consistent every day, regularly. Sthir hoya ghar yao nahao batul krame krame pailoka bhava sindhukul. Don't be restless and don't be impatient. Gradually, krame krame, gradually it will come. The detachment will come gradually. It is not that Aaj ka class was so wonderful, tomorrow, next day morning, you get up and you are detached. No, it doesn't happen like that. It happens over a period of time, gradually. Jarayati ashu ya kosham nigirinam analoyatha. Just like the fire consumes the firewood slowly, right? Slowly the wood is burnt in fire. Similarly, our subtle anarthas, they get destroyed slowly. Jarayati ashu ya kosha. Kosha means the subtle body, our anarthas, our conditionings, they get purified slowly. Be patient. That's all. And continue practicing. Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very beautiful. There are no hand raised, but once I will check if there are any.
For the chance to serve, Hare Krishna.
Questions in the chat. Tiffany Mataji is asking, like, humility is false ego. False ego is frustrated. Okay. It's all comment. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We look forward for your association in the future classes also. We are very thankful and we are very indebted to you for your very intense class. It's a really eye-opening class always when we hear from you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Let's pay obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyyo Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace ki jai. Thank you so much.
Gauranga.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.